Another Friday, another mini-stocks round. Well, it's a very special one indeed. Not only are we one of the most classic tracks in all of North America, but it's the final asphalt round of the Mini-Stock National Tour here at Watkins, Glen. One of the most historic NASCAR road venues, and boy, do we love it. Running the cup layout as ever, drivers fly up the hill, fly further through the bus stop, and then come out right on the other side, skipping the boot to do it all over again. The longest track we have on the mini-stock schedule this season makes a great place for our asphalt finale before our very, very special dirt round finishes off the season, and the championship is still neck and neck. So, plenty of great racing ahead of us as we round out this season. Now, I hope I've got my audio sources set up as I cue in Jim Cunningham. Howie Burroughs here as ever, but Jim's been around on the channel a lot, but this is his first time checking out the mini-stocks. Well, trust me, these drivers are violent. You're not ready for what we're gonna see today.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to do this, Howie. And by the way, it's good to be back working with you again. Yeah, I love these mini stocks. They are a classic American short track racing car, and the fact that you've got them running on road courses is fantastic. I love the whole concept behind that. And plus it's free material, which is is great. And Watkins Glen, my favorite American road course. Been ever since I was a kid. It's always been just my favorite road course in America. So yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
Well, there's a lot of things you might not know about these cars. First of all, I say it almost every week, but one of the big ones is that made for the ovals, they're asymmetrical. A lot of right turns make these things hate each other, but they sure do bump and bang around the track, and we have some very violent drivers and a very chaotic race format. So championship pretty neck and neck going into our last traditional round of the championship between Mike Waflisiden and Vlad Tokarev. Vlad was able to pull out his first feature win last week after being beset back-to-back by times of it going wrong for him. And he leads the championship going into the finale. I don't quite have points on the deck still. I've had to do a lot of shaking and moving on my setup this week in order to change things around. But we'll have some of that ready for our finale at the Charlotte Dirt Course, which will provide a very unique race format on the other side of Christmas. Can't wait for you to see it. But until then, we have our classic race format as ever. We have our sprint race and we have our feature race. We reversed our top 8. It looks like we have less 8 drivers again today, so we'll be reversing the whole grid, and that's when the action really kicks off. I believe this is our longest race by far of the schedule. A lot of the tracks so far have been sub 60 seconds, and now we're in the 1 minute 20s for our lap time. Good old classic stock car venue in America, and I do love this track. Is it one of my all-time favorites? Possibly one of my favorites in iRacing. I mean, IMSA's been a blast. Prototype Challenge has been a blast. I have been terrible at the supercars. So, I have not been able to get those things around here, but I'm told that they're a blast. And it's almost fitting that we send these cars around this track on the Watkins Glen week in iRacing. Big new season around. Have you done anything interesting for the first week?
Well, I'm working on a lot of oval stuff right now. Just trying to, improve my oval stuff in general. IndyCar oval, NASCAR stuff, all of that. So, nothing crazy this week or anything.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned ovals because I've noticed something very funny on the schedule, and that is one of my favorite leagues iRacing on the side. I'm happy to drop them by name. I race them on the side. Is a lovely oval league called Triple Bypass, and they did do an Xfinity season, and I raced almost the whole season, quite a big portion of it. And every season they drop in like a silly track, just something that doesn't really make much sense, yeah? And this season, the track that didn't make much sense was Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. And it went terribly. Yes. It was one of the worst. We went 17 cautions, okay? 17 cautions in a league that doesn't run many cautions. Now, I'm just going to tell you, take a look at the NASCAR Xfinity B schedule on iRacing. They have put in Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. If you've ever wanted a week to avoid in iRacing, that's your one. I cannot wait for just the nightmare that's about to unfold. No fun allowed.
Yeah, that's By the way, of course that's where Howie and I met was through Triple Bypass, and what a great that's a great league. They're a fantastic bunch of guys over there. Um, yeah, that's an interesting track for sure. Um, yeah, you're right. 100%. That's the week to avoid.
I tell
Make
you
that
what,
your
it's
drop week.
I got a Justin Yee coaching session just for that track, and it is actually a lot of fun and very, very difficult. So
I had one.
You know,
I had a coaching session with Justin last week.
he's great to work with, isn't he? He's
Oh,
great to
yeah,
work
he is.
with. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he's a
is
great guy.
so understanding. As we try and see Michael Aflissadon get a better lap in than Vlad Tokarev, who, so you need to know, like, the timeline, the background of this league is that we had a week one, and then we had an off week, as I needed to spend a little bit time getting a little bit more recruitment, and we changed the schedule around. And Vlad showed up after week one, so he wasn't in the initial intake. And he just showed up, and then just on the practice of that, what turned out to be our second week, he just turned out to be a driver so outrageously fast. We were all just like wondering, like, where did this guy come from? And also, he never responds to any messages, any pings. He's like a silent warrior, but he is also by far the fastest driver out there on the grid. Like, it's not even close. So, you know, he wanted that prize, and currently he is leading that championship. He seems to keep breaking out that margin. He's had struggles in his feature races up to now, but he got his first feature win last week. He's usually won every sprint from pole, and then making his way up the field. It's just been that little bit trickier. Well, he managed to finally break that curse at Oran Park last week when the Architect guys deliberately threw as much gravel onto the track as possible. Very funny joke. I have cleared the track between sessions now. Very important. They tested the limits of how much gravel you could kick up onto a track by revving your tyres against it in a practice, and then it carried over to the race. This league, I started it as something serious. It has become just utter chaos. And you know what? My rule has been that I've gone with it. You can't fight the tide. You can only embrace the fun. As Michael Aflissadon here tries to set a time to match that predicted lap overlay, just hasn't worked. I mean, we'll just put that away for now. But he's trying to see if he can claim this pole position. It would be his first pole since Vlad Tokarev showed up. Which
I tell you what, these cars, he is sliding that car around out there. That looks like so much fun.
It is so much fun.
I should have came and raced some of these, man.
Michael does. Michael has stolen the pole there.
Oh, he did.
Less than 500ths of a second, I think the right word is. I think it's less than 500ths of a second. That'll be his first pole. There are points on the line for a pole. So that is an excellent steal.
He did. I tell you what, you watch him. He was sliding that car. He was as they say in America, he was hustling that car around the track.
It's sort of what you have to do, play on the limit of slip across this series, and then these cars, and try and desperately make it through those right-hand turns. If we get to do this league again, I'll just say, if we get to do it, because I have quite a few more plans on the oven that are going to be more subscribed to. If we get to do this league again, I am giving you all a harder schedule. And if that means Mount Panorama, so be it. Oh. No promises on a second season, because I have to guarantee that people show up. And we've had ups and downs. I've liked the participation this season. We have had ups and downs for sure. But I'm going to challenge you all to the limit if we get to do it again. If I can imagine Chicago, we can, okay?
Can you imagine this car going up and down the mountain?
I might have to make that like a special event in itself, you know? I mean, mini stocks are on the special event calendar for, the charity race will be Iowa mini stocks at a race long enough for teams, by the way. I have no idea what they're cooking with that. Like, how could you make an oval race long enough for teams? I don't even know. I'm quite frankly scared.
That could be interesting.
I think I've set the long pace lap. Yes, I have. So we're going to have lots of time to go over the grid as the drivers go around the field. Let me already just formally apologize for that. sorry for long pace lap in caps has been sent to the chat because that I did not shorten the pace lap around our longest track of the season. Well, it's going to give us a lot of time to talk about things. So, mini stocks at Iowa, how do you feel about that?
That actually sounds quite interesting. But you really sparked my interest with Bathurst and running things at Mount Panorama. I want to do it now. That just sounds like as much fun as you should be allowed to have in one of these cars.
I think there is such a thing as too much fun you're allowed to have. Like, there's a legal limit, and we've hit it. I cannot believe, guys, I've set the long pace lap. And like I could have, every week I've made it the short pace lap, and I've set the correct pace car. And this week I woke because my sleep is always backwards because nothing I do makes any sense. And I'm always just messing stuff up. Great thing. I have an Australian schedule race coming up soon, which we'll talk about soon. I mean, yet another thing I forgot to turn down is the voice chat. So, I mean, everyone here is very, very well mannered for sure, but they don't get to overpower me on my show. So let me just grab my steering wheel and yet again just give that a nice little to the bottom. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Bye, Daniel Solo. Love you too. Let's talk about the grid while we get up. And then you can get to that. You're getting somewhere.
My first week here, half the cars are painted the same. Are they all teammates?
So yes, this league has been very much dominated by a particular team. And what you don't know about the dynamic is they don't work together. They wreck each other as like a matter of law. All right, it's like I actually do not penalize wrecking between their teammates because they are going to self-enforce it between themselves. On week 1, they all bought the exact same color, which was just an absolute nightmare. Michael Vlisenden takes an unexpected P1 with a fantastic qualifying lap with Vlad Tokarev down behind on the outside line. Daniel Solo in P3 with Eric Blixt in P4. Big gap between the second and third cars with Will Shack in 5, Anton Oman in 6th, and Trevor Crosswright in P7. I do like seeing the Hornets versus the Days of Thunder car. It's always a classic for me. It's always like it's a continuous duel. There was some good racing back in the back of the field. It's just that the racing is so good right at the front that it's very, very hard to keep track of it.
Yeah, this is, I see them, they're just bumping each other, the teammates. That's quite funny. That's what made me notice when one car pulled up and bumped the one in front of him, and then I realized they were all painted the same.
Yeah, they will bump, they will wreck, they will spin. They will often turn this entire league into a total farce. I wouldn't want them any other way, quite frankly. Wouldn't want them any other way at all. Although in week 1, when they all showed up in the exact same livery, and I told them, you guys have to change something next week. Like, the color is identical. That was fun.
So I don't know how much, you know about, like, American dirt track racing and stuff, but that's exactly how they would behave in American dirt track racing. They would get out there and purposely bump each other and grind on each other, just, so that's not uncommon.
It adds to the fun of it all, but we are green here at Watkins, Glen, and it's that right lane that gets a good launch. Michael Vlisenden and Daniel Solo making a good start. Daniel tries to cut off Vlad there on the inside, going into turn 1. The drivers are allowed to run right here if they don't get a black flag. We don't have an incident limit on that, but they have popped it within the lines. Michael leads going up the hill, but Vlad Tokarev not used to starting P3 from a sprint session, and he's still dropping back even further behind here as Eric Blixt might be able to get alongside. I hear a little bit of grinding against the wall as they file up those S's, max speed they can, and Vlad Tokarev has not had the start he usually gets around here. Fastest car on the field most weeks. He's certainly got a pack to work his way up here.
First of all, I don't think it's ever a wise move to cut off anyone named Vlad. That just sounds like a bad plan. But, yeah, he did get off to a rather slow start for his reputation in this league, for sure. Well, we'll see. This is, like I said, it's a long track and it's a long race. So I'm sure he'll find his way back to the front. I just wonder what got him off. So he must have missed a gear or something there.
It could have been a gear launch. I noticed that whole right lane, though, just like the guy behind didn't jump very well, and now he's just stuck behind an Alcantech train. This is the sprint race, so we're going to have a very short race around here, and then we reverse the grid for the finale. Both races worth points. So getting a bad result here puts you up right at the front for the finish of the next race. I do see Trevor Crosswhite is missing. I'll try and work out if something happened to him. The overtaking opportunities on this track are they're not particularly common, not too much hard braking around this circuit. Instead, you really got to just bump and run and unsettle people to get things done. And as you know better than me about getting stock cars around here, Jim.
Well, yeah, and with cars like this, I mean, they, the amount of speed that they run, you don't have to brake much here. There's a lot of wide open sliding of these cars through here, so that you're right. There's not much heavy braking. It's it's definitely a different kind of track for them to pass on. A lot of the passes are gonna have to be, coming off somebody's error in front of them, maybe, or a little, something like that.
Those errors can produce some spectacular races. Also, either I'm rambling about nothing here and just waffling, or this is a real problem. I've had to change my entire audio setup this week, and I'm sorry if if any chance you heard some noises from WhatsApp. I promise you're not the crazy one. It actually happened, but I think I've dealt with that as we had around on lap 2, and still nobody making a huge move. That 95 there of Blake sort of almost pushing Solo along, maybe looking to try and unsettle or maybe even wreck his teammate. Trust me, these teammates don't cooperate. They battle each other to the absolute death. I would not call anything you see here Dirty D's to block off Vlad. I would definitely call it them probably more focusing on beating each other up. But this top 4 still getting away with it as we hit the halfway mark. Very short sprint race around here. As we approach the bus stop again, people taking this quite tentatively. I'm not seeing the intense pushing and shoving yet. That's the 13 Solo there, getting a little bit loose and unsettled out of the bus stop. He's going to get away with it, though, I think, as Vlad Tokarev uses this chance to try and sneak up the inside of Blix now. I don't think he's quite getting it done, though.
That's exactly what we were talking about, though. You got a little error there, and Vlad's going to try to take advantage of it. But you're right; it does not look like he's going to get it done. I wonder. Something seems maybe possibly off with his car a little bit. He just, from everything that I understand about him, he doesn't seem to be any quicker than any of the guys in front of him right now, and that's certainly not his reputation.
Well, this is an open setup series because I'm not really sure what to make of these cars. I don't know how much work people are putting into getting their setups right. As up the inside now, Vlad's going to look to make the move. Eric Blix sweeps out wide, but the momentum up the S's, it still hasn't really materialized. Next move's going to have to be made in the chicane here as Mycroft Lissadon seems to be getting away with it, and Vlad isn't getting the long run pace he is quite looking for.
He, it looked like he had a good run there, and it just, it didn't stick going up that hill. I'm, again, whatever happened there, he dropped back a little bit. He must have
just catching up
wheel wrong somewhere there.
Just catching up on Trevor Crosswhite, who did make his pit stop on that one. I'm curious. I don't think anything happened to him. He's not, the thing is, I know him, and he's not a quitter, okay? No, that would have done it. That would have done it, but he's not much of a quitter in this league. Maybe he's just going to wait out that pole position in the feature as we get back to action, and this whole train is definitely giving Michael space to run away with this sprint. We're only going to have 2 laps to go when we cross the line. Yeah, it's going to be 2 to go. Thank you. My math skills, they are still intact, it turns out. As Eric Blix tries to unsettle Solo there, I think there is a bit of a bump and run, and he's going to try and go for it again. Not quite.
Yeah, he didn't get the run he had on that last lap. That was a nice move he had last lap. It just didn't stick. So I question for you with the rules of this league. Since Trevor is not on track, he won't be on track, it looks like, for the finish of this race.
I believe he'll still get pole if he shows up.
Okay.
I think he still gets
Yeah,
full once he shows up.
That's what I was curious about.
It's automated iRacing rules, and so I'm just sort of like sit back and I just sort of let Dale Jr. take the wheel, as some would say. He just gets to decide where people sit on the grid. Sometimes crazy stuff happens under the pace car. Who knows? As right now, this is a three-car shootout, and with the white flag, I think this could start getting just a little bit explosive. I wouldn't count it out in any way right now, as we catch Vlad Tokarev trying to get the best of Eric Blix. A fourth in a sprint could be a meaningful loss of points, more so than we expected, and that's the 13 around just completely turned. We're going to have to take a look at that one again, whether there was like contact there or who quite caused that one.
I thought he just got really loose there and then it snapped over on him. I don't know that he got hit.
The chopper cam will reveal all, but this might have just upended the whole field. Yes, it is under his own power. Oh, the 95's on the inside. Oh, the 95 tags and turns his teammate there.
Yeah, well, I mean, he slowed up so much getting loose that his teammate hit him. I don't think that that's the same as, some of the intentional, let's have some fun and wreck each other kind of thing. I think he just got so loose that his teammate just didn't slow it up enough and bumped him.
Yeah, I would definitely rank it as an accident, but it's under Daniel getting quite loose, and that's going to give Vlad some of the points he was looking for. A P4 in that sprint. It's only a few points lost, but his championship is going to go down to the wire. He just happens to claim that P2. Michael's probably cursing his teammates in the voice chat right now for letting that one happen, because Michael's going to sit right next to Vlad on the back row of the grid. But Minecraft Lizardon takes his first sprint since the dawn of the Tokarev era. This battle, I think, is going to be ongoing for quite some time. As that's the drift over the line, and we're getting side by side. Let's start wrecking over the line. Eric Blix is going to finish third. Anton Oman in fourth. Will Shack in fifth, and Daniel Solo in last. He'll be starting on the front row.
That's pretty funny.
Now, you don't know another piece of Mini Stocks National Tour lore, and I'm about to explain it to you. So every single week, we've gone to a lot of legacy tracks, old tracks in iRacing, that have a lot of jank and a lot of weird stuff. And every single week, the Alcantech boys, led by Daniel Solo, have used the warm-up opportunity to find a jump in the track and send the whole field over it. Now,
interesting.
Now, here's the surprise, all right? That I don't think there's a viable jump on this track. Daniel says he spent all week practicing trying to find the jump and found it. Who are we going to believe? This is their time to take it and see whether they have created stock car racing history. The Architect boys are lining up as they do. They always love to make it spectacular. Show me. He's leading his compatriot into war. Oh no, YouTube's Twitch, stop playing my audio back to me, thank you very much. They think they know something I don't. I'll be surprised if there is a jump. I'm not a believer in the jump theory for Watkins Glen, okay? But they are driving with intent. So, let's take a look at some magic happening. I hope they don't get removed straight from the track for this. I've been told that the camera angles get really choppy on the cup layout for this. So we'll just get back here. Where do you think this is going to be?
Well, my guess is coming out of the boot, I guess it's the heel part of the boot right here. This part right here, because it's uphill right here. I thought they were gonna run it straight off there.
I think it will be the next left-hander. I've not seen them crank their speed up yet. When they put the foot down, it's on, you know?
I'm curious. There is some pretty big curbing right there where that... Oh, here they go. Let's see. They're lining something up.
Is the jump real? Do we believe in jump theory? Or are they going to just park it up in protest? Are we waiting for Blix to come? Yeah, we're waiting for Blix. They have 20 seconds to deliver. It's the Alcantech crew all together. Not the last time they'll be able to find one of these, but maybe the last time they'll be able to find it on a road track. Don't ask why the onboard has bugged out. I think they are doing very illegal things here as they come across. Oh, it's good enough. It's good enough. You know, it's hard to find a jump here. I didn't realise that on the cut layout, they park the trucks off the track at the end of the boot like that. Did not realise, but...
Interesting.
The wall adds to it all.
That's pretty funny.
They've come up with some spectacular jumps. Go watch the previous weeks on
the
channel.
There are some good jumps around some of these tracks. I've noticed some guys that have found them and they hit them at the end of the races and stuff.
The Mission R community was absolutely stellar at finding the ways to just break their cars. I drove the Mission R for the first time at Lime Rock Park. It went official more than just the scheduled time. I saw it and I was like, I have to do this. I've commentated on their races and they are a lovely community. They're one of the nicest communities in all of iRacing.
Yeah, they're good.
The car didn't, and I'm going to be very kind to the Mission R because I don't want to be like one of those people that dunks on it. The car didn't speak to me. To me, it was too boaty and understeery. And it was like, you have to steer it like the Porsche Cup, but it also has ABS. And so it's in this very weird, uncanny valley for me. I think with time, I would get it. I'm no hater. I'm no committed hater. It just was very strange to me around Lime Rock.
I wish you could shift the car.
I mean, electric cars don't really have shifting, if you know what I mean.
No, I know, but it seems like, I don't know, there's just something, the fact that it doesn't shift is a little, I don't know, it throws me off. I'm not sure. I tell you what, did you get to drive the car in qualifying mode with the qualifying setup on it?
It was Lime Rock, so I was just getting a little bit. I was generally perpetually unsure of it. I didn't get to fit. There aren't too many long straights for you to use it at its full power. So
man, that qualifying setup thing where it's putting out, it's like 1,100 horsepower that car has under with the qualifying charge on.
I'll be back in future weeks. I'll be back.
It is so fast.
I have to try this car again. I'm not going to write it off. It just was one of the weirdest cars I've driven, although it is fundamentally a very weird car.
It is completely different driving than any other car I've ever driven. And I've put in numerous weeks of just, I want to love that car and I want to be able to drive it. The Mission R group that races that you've done their broadcast, they're fast. There's several of those people in there that are extremely fast, and they got some world-class racers in there. I can't think of her. Her last name's Hayward. I can't think of her first name right now.
Olivia Hayward.
Olivia.
Oh, Alcantech are messing with us on the pace lap again. I'll trust them to fix it, or they'll be judicious black flags as we finish off our grid. Trevor Crosswhite hasn't progressed to the feature. He has quit on the spot here, so this is a slightly unusual way we set up the grid because Daniel Solo will be P2 because inheriting P1 will be Will Shack on the left-hand side, Anton Oman behind, Eric Blixt and Vlad Tokarev behind, and on a row behind Mike Felicity. I believe Trevor definitely hasn't made it out, so we will be led by... No, are you led by the... When P1 quit, are you led by the P3 or the P2?
No, the P3 should come up and fill that spot. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, it should be Will in this case. Yeah.
Well, that means Will's going to lead this field. Oftentimes, feature lap ones are just pure carnage. There's nothing else to say about them. And we're about to go green any moment. Now, Will lead the pack.
Green.
And away we go. Both lines getting a good launch this time. I do see now Michael Felicity already making a wide dive. He's going to try throwing in a turn one with Vlad Tokarev still behind. Cars going 3 wide. 42 there going pretty wide by itself. It's permissible if you don't catch the iRacing black flag for it as we continue to go 3, maybe even 4 wide up the hill. Michael Felicity got the start he wanted into P2. Vlad Tokarev has not gotten any of it. He's got places to make up in the 10 laps we have around this track. And we've already seen that passing isn't terribly easy for these drivers. Michael has got a pretty free week here.
No, in fact, I'm not sure that we had a pass in the last race, not more than one, that didn't involve that wreck where, a couple of guys moved up. This track, I think, is probably a little too high speed for it to be a great passing track.
Well, we see more aggression in the feature race typically around this season, and we see more elbows out, and we do allow for some classic stock car content there, as that's Anton Oman running very wide there on the last two corners. That's going to give Vlad Tokarev the chance to possibly go side by side. We'll check it out from the chopper. Looks like he's got the better of it, as Daniel Solo up in front is battling out with Michael. Michael's now taken the P1 from him fast, one of the other fastest driver on the grid today. Maybe Daniel could gift himself another retirement, or maybe he'll make up those points he's missing, but he's not done at all with fighting his teammate for as long as necessary, I think, as Vlad is already catching onto the field.
Michael flew to the front. Holy cow. He wasted no time getting up there. I don't know if his teammates kind of helped in that and to make sure, but man, he got right up to the front and fast. And I mean, Vlad's moving up, but I know Michael sent it on that first turn, but I turned my head and I looked back and he's in first place.
Want to just catch that race start. Let's just go a little bit faster there so we can catch the start and how this quite unfolded, because both these drivers did make the same row. It was a very slow start from Will Shack there, and then I don't think there was help. I just think that Vlad didn't have the launch set up. He's just going slower down the straight, and then Michael's going to force himself into that space.
He really did. Yeah, he got aggressive with Will and kind of, just door banged him going on through there. I mean, he made a nice aggressive move to move it up front there. That was impressive.
Well, we have the 4-car Alcantech showdown and the 77 right behind us. Daniel Solo sends it in deep, sends the 81 out wide there onto the tarmac, and in fact Daniel's going to get turned in response, and that's Michael wiped out of the race as a result of it. He's just been taken and spun around. I don't know if that was retaliation or whether it was just an incident gone wrong, but now Vlad has been donated at the very front of this field by Derek Blixt. Oh, that is Alcantech shenanigans. Every single week it's Alcantech shenanigans. I'm telling you, you have seen the usual for the mini stock racing. I've never seen it.
I'm all for shenanigans, but I don't know about costing your teammate the championship potentially. I'm not sure that's the kind of shenanigans that I would get excited about. But wow, I hope that wasn't retaliation. I hope that was just an accident. That would be unfortunate.
I mean, we can catch another view of this one. I mean, so here we are. Daniel sends it in very deep, too deep, and he knocks this 81 out wide. That's going to donate the lead to the next two cars. And I don't know if it looks more like Netco to me as the 81 sort of coming back. And he gets really unlucky.
That's an accident.
It's really unlucky being thrown off the track like that after getting the turn done.
Yeah.
Daniel did an Austin Dillon last week, and now he's going to... he did do an Austin Dillon last week, by the way, coming out of the corner on a teammate, and now it's his turn to be sent backwards, but Michael, I've listened, has been sent right to the back in an extraordinary state of affairs for the first few laps of this feature, as we already approaching the halfway mark.
Well, I think Vlad looked back in his mirror and saw what was going on there, and that sure made him feel good. And now he's kind of wide open to just let it go and run hard up here. I'm curious now to see if he's going to get it done by Eric, or if he's just going to for the most part lay here in second. We'll see. They it's funny too. You watch everybody else drive, and then the way Michael was driving in that qualifying lap that we were watching earlier today, he just seemed to be hustling the car more than anyone else around here. His car looked different. Just the way he was sliding it through the turns, he just looked fast. And I mean, he barely beat Vlad's lap, but he just looked fast.
As Michael is going to go for it now. I always pick the worst time to go on board with a driver. He gets a better exit out of that final turn. Has the outside going into turn one here. Going to get outbraked for now, but I don't think it's necessarily over. The drivers can run wide here as long as they don't get a slowdown penalty, but it's not going to be the exit speed quite this time.
Yeah, you gotta, if you're going to try to get anything done, you got to really get a good exit there to do it coming up these S's, because this is an uphill section of the course, and with these slightly underpowered cars, it just eats them up. It just takes away their momentum. They're just I love the fact they left the chicane in here. That's great. I love it. Yeah, so look at when you got Vlad here. He's hustling. He's trying to get there. I really want to see a battle up there between those two. I've been excited hearing about how he's showed up and been so fast, and he's kind of mysterious and doesn't talk. That's pretty neat. I just want to see him. I want to see a battle up here with the two of them. Oh, he swung wide there.
I don't know if the position's going to be quite made up yet, but it seems these last few corners are always claiming them as victims around here, as Vlad, he's going to want to get the inside line this time, going into turn one. Didn't get it last time. I think he's plenty alongside, and if he gets the outbreak done, it'll be cleanly done. And he switched back from the 95. He went up the inside, coming up the hill into the S's here.
I don't think he got it done. I think 95.
It wasn't.
95.
The exit speed was not locked in, and that's going
to... The 95 kind of crossed him over there and got back to the inside line going up through the S's again. I don't know what it's going to take for him to get it done and make it stick. He had it, but he just kind of swung wide there and left the inside line open, and Eric took it. So has Eric been running up front in so far in this season? Because he's
fast, but he's not been a race winner contender. He's often ended up in most drivers have ended up in a lot of incidents, to be honest. As I see, Michael Lissidon has a black flag for something. Oh, I see damage on the back of that car. Let's just see what happened here.
Yeah, when it goes bad, it goes bad, apparently.
Something about that car isn't running white, but it's specifically being shouted at as not a meatball.
It's not a meatball.
Yeah, it's actually an actual black flag, as I need to go live as quickly as possible. These leaders are trading positions again. Going into the back portion of this track, Vlad Tokarev and Eric Blick still trying to make it happen into this first corner. They're side by side on their way up the hill. Vlad's getting all the championship advantage he would like, but he would quite like to get more, but it's still not going to get done this time. As this battle for first continues to heat up, and I think Vlad is going to... I think getting the glory of the win is worth it. There's a few more points on the line for the P1, even if his championship now has been given just the glorious go-ahead. There's one drop week, but both drivers have missed a week. So now it's every race counts, I think, for each one. And right now, Vlad's still going to want that P1, I think. He's going to want to prove he's the best out there. But Eric's been putting up a very good fight.
He has. I looked over the timing and scoring just to see. And, Vlad has the best lap in the race. He was faster on the last lap. He was faster again on this last lap that just updated. But he can't seem to get it done and make it stick on the track. I have to give Eric credit. Every time that Vlad has got there, he does something to counter it and gets it back.
Michael Lissidon has taken his penalty and returned to the grid, but with only 3 to go on this race, he may as well consider himself as out as good. A real shocking turn of event, unless our finale at the Charlotte Rallycross track really changes the script here for Vlad, because he could be running away with his ticket to a championship right here, but he still wants his P1, and I think he's got some closing distance now going down into the bus stop chicane. Will he force it up the inside of Eric, or will he hold it behind for now? You can see he's almost considering the move, but it hasn't quite materialized yet. Only 3 to go, 2 more times of that chicane now that it's done. And I think Vlad, he's still looking every lap for that chance. Do not count him out whatsoever.
You know, I keep waiting for it to happen. Like I said, I mean, he's well, actually, Eric had the fastest lap last lap. You know, this is a little spot right here that you can possibly make up some a little bit, because you got to brake. Oh, kick the rear end out there a little bit. There's a nice little braking area here that you could maybe pull down on the inside coming up by pit road.
He's going to make his next shot, I think.
He's certainly sneaking up there. Yeah, but again, he picked the wrong. He picked the outside. Unless he's just trying to get momentum to go, you know, trying to set it up to go up the S's. He didn't swing wide there. He should be faster right here.
I wonder if I can get the speed of both drivers in a comparison. That seems like the sort of thing I probably can't get, but I would love to be able to get. That would be really cool data. I can't quite compare direct car speed on this overlay. Right. That would be awesome. But that's maybe a feature for them another day, as Eric Blixt is picking his lines. I think he gets to dictate the lines more than Vlad does. He's certainly picking the right one. I mean, he picked that one to hug the inside by the wall there, and that going into that chicane, which is the proper line. The closer you can get to that wall, the better. Yes. I mean, it's just how wide you could run there, but that's iRacing.
That's the spot I was talking about earlier, pre-race, when you were telling me how on turn 1 they were allowing them to run a little wide. That spot there, you can run really wide, and they don't penalize you, and they're a little bit right there as well.
I've only ever really driven the boot. I've not really, because I wasn't really available on the last time the NASCAR series and iRacing went to Watkins Glen. So I wasn't really available for it. As we get the white flag now, I see smoke up ahead. That's Michael's lapped car. There is a fast repair, so he will be back to his full condition, but he's lost another 40 seconds to these leaders and turn it around. Michael Vlissenden's day is pretty much done. I've not seen a driver lapped on track in quite a while here, but it's this final battle between Vlad and Eric, whether he's going to try and go for the tasteful bump and run, or whether he's just going to try and lock in this P2. I'm not sure. It's going to go down to the absolute wire, no matter what, as he tries to size up on the inside of the bus stop. Still not getting it. Only a few corners to go now, and a lot of the biggest overtaking opportunities have been robbed already. Eric Blixt has played a defensive masterclass if he keeps his P1, a P1 that he had no idea he'd have going into today. And Vlad Tokarev might not be able to clean up another feature, but he has been very, very blessed with a big championship points haul, no matter what here, as Eric crosses the last few corners. There's a chance here, but I don't think it's going to happen. Eric Blixt is more than likely here, due to take the checkered flag on our Watkins Glen feature race.
Yeah, it looks like it, barring a mistake. This is his race here.
And as they cross the line, that's the win for Eric. First of the season.
Great run by Eric there. Vlad was all over him the whole race, and every time that Vlad made a move, he had a counter to protect his spot, and that was fantastic.
Oh, Michael didn't repair his car. Oh, God.
It is.
That is a destroyed mini stock. That's a wrecked and crumpled little machine.
He's got one front tire pointing straight left, and the other one's pointing straight ahead.
It's just a little bit of toe and camber. Yeah. Just a little bit of toe and camber, okay?
A little bit.
Just a little bit. We're going to talk to a couple drivers soon, hopefully. We don't usually get the whole field here. We usually get one or two and speak to them at their leisure. But until then, let's recap the unbelievable results from this race as Eric Blixt takes the win ahead of Vlad Tokarev. Anton Oman in 3, Solo in 4 after an altercation with Hadlissidon right at the back. Will Shack takes 5th, and to round out the field, Trevor Crosswhite not entering as the Alcatech guys are trying something, by the way. Just warning you. They're up to something.
Will Sheck was going backwards right there. He was driving backwards, and we didn't even say anything. It was like it was just no big deal. He's just going backwards.
They're planning their shenanigans. It's going to be hard into the wall.
Yes, please.
Death.
Yep.
Death.
Yep. Oh, they're like an acrobatic team. I don't know if you remember. You probably don't remember,
Will Shack,
certainly.
No, Will Shack. That's a late hit. That's a late hit, Will Shack. End the line. End the line next week.
Do you remember? Have you ever seen the cartoon Speed Racer?
I've not seen it. I definitely know about it.
Okay.
Definitely know about it.
Okay, so there in Speed Racer, which it was basically 1960s Japanese anime, and then it came to America, and it was, they kind of Americanized it with the voices and all. But anyway, so one of the arch nemesis of Speed Racer was, I don't remember the name of them, but they were something acrobatic team. And there was like a group of cars. They all were kind of painted the same, and they did all kinds of crazy flying stunts like that. That's who this team reminds me of. It's like the old acrobatic team from Speed Racer.
They've had more spectacular jumps in other weeks. They've had more spectacular jumps, by the way.
I loved it.
Well, we have a couple drivers to talk to. First of all, someone has to repent for their. Actually, no, we'll let Daniel stew on what he's done for a bit because we have a race winner to talk to, and what a great race win it was. Eric Blix holding off Vlad Tokarev for a while, and then we'll start debate club after the fact. So if Blix can hop into the accept his invite the moment available.
There we go.
Hello, Eric Blixt. What a defensive drive. Passing was hard here, but you definitely had to hold off our fastest driver for a long time to make that one happen. Cleanly and nicely done.
Yeah, I messed up the exit on the straight a few times. Invited him to a pass. Really tricky to get the power down in turn one, but managed somehow to keep the speed up and keep him behind for the rest of the race. I did not expect that, actually.
I mean, most of us didn't expect
it. He got by you a couple of times there, and you always seemed to have a counter move and took your spot right back. That was impressive. Good job. Good drive today.
Yeah, he's so nice. I was telling Solo, why is he not giving me the door up this? I deserve the door right here. But he races really clean, so I felt like I had to keep it up as well.
I love the fact that
you see what you guys do and realize if he's clean.
I love the fact that I love the fact that he expected to get the door right there. I love that. That's, other race series, you would never hear somebody say that.
Yeah, I mean, he's been messing with so many of our guys. He must get sick of us soon. I was like,
that's hilarious.
Give me the door now. I deserve it.
I love that. You got them. It's, you're trained to drive dirty. I love it. It's great.
Well, it's stock cars.
That's my resume.
It's what you get. It's stock cars around Watkins Glen. It is what it is. Well, an excellent race and an excellent result. I'll give you the opportunities to make your necessary shout outs before we move down the stage, because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's just thanks to you guys and all the sponsors on the car. Just all my teammates having a laugh.
You guys, I gotta say, now I'll save the talk about the jump to the person that discovered it after we get through it. As I get to Anton Owen up next, we'll save the best till last, I think. Anton Oman, I don't think we saw as much of you just because everything was happening around you so much. But what did you? I mean, you still got a very solid result. What do you really make of the track and the racing here?
I mean, I get it that you didn't follow me quite much because I heard my colleague, so to say, have some racing. So I get that. It's fine by me. No, the track was good and the car was pretty decent as well. I had fun, at least. It was good.
Well,
this is a high speed track for you guys with these cars. Not a lot of braking zones. It's pretty much just swing it around there and keep your foot in it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the bus stop is maybe the worst one. But I just, brake a little bit, chuck it into fourth, and then just chuck it in there to the right, try to catch it, and then just back to the left to get the left front back. You see me going here, and then I just boom back to the left again, and then just try to keep the traction.
Yeah, that's that's a nice line you took through there. That's
that's a bit wide though, but yeah.
As close, obviously, as close as you can get to the wall on the start is you make it as straight as possible through there.
Exactly.
I love these. I love these cars around here, though. I love the way they just slide around, and the rear ends hung out like that right there. That's great. That's big fun right there.
Yeah, it really is, and you see, we can really control it really good as well. Like they are amazing cars.
Well, let's see if you feel that way next week.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I mean, I do some dirt stuff as well,
Okay, so all right, well,
so I'm pretty used to it. So we'll see. I'm gonna give it my best try.
Well, today was kind of a lot like driving on dirt in a lot of ways. The way you were sliding that car around to keep it going fast. Yeah. Let's see how you do on the jumps. Do you do rally racing? So you do some jumps and stuff like that?
I don't know if Charlotte has jumps. I don't know if Charlotte has jumps.
Okay.
I don't think Charlotte has jumps, but
okay.
I do the trucks and I do some rallycross, but I'm more of the Pro 4 truck guy. I'm Pro 2.
Okay. Yeah.
So there we have some jumps, but on Charlotte we don't have any jumps.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, dirt track with these cars is going to be a lot of fun. Of course, they were kind of made for dirt tracks too, though. Dirt road course ought to be really fun in them, though. That should be a blast.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
I may suit up a car and come race with you guys next week. You never know.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah, well, I'd embarrass myself for sure.
Well,
but that would make us happy.
All right.
Well, a good race from you, but we've got the main event of the day. Really, the race wasn't the main event. This was, because I'm going to do what I did last time we had the incident. I'm going to bring them both in together, and I'm going to sit back for a bit and just see how this one develops. Unfortunately, you guys do need to know that due to a minor tech issue. There's always a tech issue every week, but this one was pretty minor. I don't actually have the replay of the moment to play back in slow motion. It is on the stream. You'll be able to catch it. You'll be able to watch that, and we got another angle. But right now, we'll talk to Daniel Salo and Michael Aflisiden, and let's just see what they have to say. Hello.
No, it's all Solo's fault. I just want to start with saying I announced the departure of Mikael Haflidason from Alcantech NHR. Which means Alcantech NHR drivers who hit me should get a penalty. Wait.
Whoa!
Not you!
Whoa! Did you think that one through? Okay, listen. Solo started it when he cooked it too hard on the inside of the turn.
Thank you.
But I wasn't expecting it to end that violently for both of you, because then the rejoin was crazy, and then both cars ended up backwards. So I wasn't expecting that to blow up the way that did.
Yeah. That was unfortunate.
There's not much to say. We all blame Huffley, of course. 100% on Huffley for everyone in the team.
Yeah,
everyone thinks that way.
Does Doomy feel that way? That's the more important one. He doesn't know. He doesn't have an answer. He doesn't have an answer.
All I have to say is I'm the breadwinner. They can hate me how much ever they want.
Well,
you keep saying that.
Your championship has just been turned. Your championship has just been turned upside down. I regret to inform you.
Yeah, but that's all thanks to my teammates, because they're just they have one too many screws loose. I mean, Vlad, if you're hearing this, there's an orange car waiting for you.
I do need to quickly ask though what your black flag was for. Couldn't quite catch the details on it. What did Mike?
I may have tried to commit mass murder on a specific person, and may have not served a slowdown in time.
Oh, it's a slowdown on turn one. Okay. I'm surprised that you wouldn't have
used the entire bus stop.
You're just. Oh, I wonder if I can catch this one. Actually, I wonder if I can catch this. Because I had to basically restart the overlay. just like a little bit. So that's when the black flag happens. I think it is. I think I think we have it. I think we have it. I think, yeah. I mean, what else would you do? Well,
I see nothing wrong here. I was just following the track.
You didn't succeed. All I'm going to say is you didn't succeed at committing the murder. Not even close. Your car was more bruised at the end of that than I've ever seen.
How hard was that car to drive at the end?
It was pretty hard, but I was putting on a drift exhibition instead.
You were. I looked over there, and you had one tire pointing left, and the other one was pointing straight, and the back end was halfway around. That was hilarious.
I was just remaking the scenes from Tokyo Drift, to be honest.
Well,
I also quickly want to correct you guys. Charlotte does have a jump.
Oh,
see?
No. I mean, does the track, the rallycross track, have a jump?
There is an intended jump on the layout.
Okay, that's even better. I know it's not as big as like Phoenix. I gotta say, I like the spirited attempt at a Watkins jump. That was about the best you guys could have gotten away with on that track. Daniel did think smartly, and it was the best you guys could do together. And I do very much appreciate your contribution to going airborne every single week, if nothing else.
So is Daniel the author of the jump every week? Is he the one that comes up with the jump? I like it. I know none of you guys, y'all are all young, so you have no idea. You probably never even heard of the cartoon Speed Racer. But they're in Speed Racer, one of his villain teams that he fought against was the acrobatic team, and they looked a lot like you guys. So I'm going to paint you. I'm going to paint you guys as a bunch of villains. To Vlad, who is probably the hero, even though he doesn't.
Not the first one to think that way.
Even though he doesn't talk to us, he's like Racer X. He's mysterious. You never get to hear him speak or anything.
I did watch the movie, and that was what a riot!
Oh no, that was terrible.
No, it was a riot.
Oh, yeah, that
was an absolute riot.
No, it was terrible. You need to go back and watch watch the original cartoon.
But like that movie is like the only way to properly turn a cartoon that ridiculous into a movie. Like it's the only way. Like you could like they could have played it straight or they could have played it stupidly, and they did it perfect in my opinion. That movie was ridiculous. Well,
yeah, Michael definitely a member of the acrobatic team with that drive he had right there. This is where I was laughing out loud on the stream at your car.
I'm trying to catch the actual end pile up. I'm trying to catch the end pile up.
Oh,
there we go. Here we go. This is the good stuff. This is the content. Well, thanks to all of you for showing up. As a quick heads up, of course, to the stream as well as all the drivers. Next week is off because the 27th is too close to Christmas, and I'm not stupid. We'll see you the week after for Charlotte on the Rallycross circuit with a special race format as well, and a prize for winning just that one alone. Oh, what beautiful content we see right there. What beautiful content.
Michael had a nice flip right there. A really, really nice flip. That was... you already had you had no front end on the car already, so it made it easier to get...
that late hit from the 31, the NFL wouldn't look on that one nicely, okay? They wouldn't look upon that one nicely. NFL Blitz is calling.
He'd be penalized for sure.
Well, I need to get on to wrapping up this stream, but very quickly, also need to... Alcontech's so funny that I never get to promote that this Sunday, we're bringing you the whole SOF broadcast of the Skip Barber Race Series, 10:15 a.m. GMT. This one's great for the Australians in the chat as we pick up on that. And we go to the VIR North for the first week, a very, very fun track that the community absolutely adore, and I'm so looking forward to covering a whole season of South Australia's best drivers, as this is a really unfortunate frame to hold on. So yes, 1 week off. We'll be here on the other side of the new year. You might need to be able to have to get the date for me. Actually, I can do that. You're not like you're not my pack mule. I could do this. We'll be back on the 3rd of January to catch the grand finale at the Rallycross circuit at Charlotte with a special super sprint format that is going to see plenty of prizes given out to our absolute winners. But until then, I've been Howie Burroughs alongside Jim Cunningham. It's been another fantastic week of the mini stocks, and we're so close to the finish line. Goodbye.